Yo, okay. I'm butt tired. Y'all have no idea. Um, I'm gonna use this because I gotta go do dishes and work in the kitchen after this anyway. I don't know if anybody gonna come in. I'm running a little late. Um, I literally got in my house 10, 15 minutes ago. I got up this morning about 9 o'clock and I had to do a little bit of running. I wanted to do some things. I've been getting the maintenance on the car done. So I told y'all when I first got that Kia, um, live chat. There we go. When I first got the Kia, and I'll get into the conversation here in a minute, but when I first got that Kia, when I finally went and got things done like an oil change at the dealership. Flatbed, what's up, homie? Where you at in the country and what's the weather? I think we hit 99 here today, at least in the car. When I left the car a few minutes ago, it said 99. I was out there working on the car, homie. I was working on the car, getting ready to talk about it. Woo! I was working on the car. Oh, you know what? Y'all can help me with. Well, I got some new spectacles, glasses. I call them spectacles. You know, we get old. What the hell I do with it? Y'all, I had the little case. I don't know. Oh, here it is. So these are new. Those are clear. They said the stigma changed a little bit. The prescription pretty much stayed the same. Oh, it's happening, homie. I've been off because I've been tired and I have had a lot to do. Like if you see my house right now, it's a mess. I got a brand new desk I got to put in. I've been working on getting stuff for the back patio for the garden. I got a new raised bed I got to put together. I got a second one I already put together. I've had that for almost 6 months or so because I got it cheap. It was on sale, so I bought it. And then I got some pool noodles to kind of put on the edging because since it was cheap, the better quality ones, since they're that stainless steel or the sheet metal steel, whatever, they if they're the cheap ones, they don't have a rubber edging, so you can cut your hand. So even when I put it together, I kind of semi was cutting my hand doing it. So I wanted to make sure that I have it. So you can use pool noodles around the edging of the cheaper ones, and you can get the pool noodles for the $1.25 store. And you could usually, if I would have bought some once the summer ended last year, I would have got them for like 50 cents, 25 cents, but I didn't, so I had to pay the $1.25, and I got two. This other one, I got to see what it's going to be like because it may need it too, but it comes with a plastic cover. So that's going to help, hopefully, with the critters. But other than that, the weight loss journey, I can tell you. So I think I told y'all when I was 240, excuse me, I was 443. Old people in mind. I was 443, my nails. I got to start taking nail vitamins. I was 443. When I went back, I had lost 13 pounds. And I think that was, 430 or whatever. And then, was it 430? Whatever. And so then I went for my pre-screening for the colonoscopy to go talk to them and stuff. And I lost, by the time I got there, I was 423. Yeah, 423. So altogether, 20-some pounds. I have not been for my weigh-in. I go for another weigh-in in May. But I can feel it. Pretty much, I'm able to walk short distances now without the cane with as much pain. I still have some equilibrium issues, which we'll go see the neurologist about. That also could have been due to the heart stuff. I don't know. Even though one doctor said, hey, heart stuff, yeah, not bad. I mean, for a short period of time. Like today, if I eat something, it's not a lot. Like I went to Cheesecake Factory, what was that, Thursday night. And they have a really good fish called a back something. And it's fish, potatoes, and string beans. And I got it, and I ate maybe like this much, and it was a long fillet. And I ate about this much of the fillet, ate a little bit of the green beans, and a couple of bites of the mashed potatoes. Now, I did have a salad, and I killed the salad, but I like roughage. So I like salads. A lot of people, I be telling, that's why people see me and they see I'm fat and they think, yo, you just want, no. I like veggies, homie, and I like a lot of veggies. Like right now tonight, I'm thinking about, I went to Sonic because I had a gift card. Sonic, I love their iced tea. Their iced tea is crack. And so I went to Sonic and I got an iced tea, and then they had a buy entree, get one free. I had a burger, but I'm probably going to put it, no, I got a burger and a breakfast burrito. I'm probably going to put the burger in the refrigerator and heat it up for maybe tomorrow or something. But I'm thinking to go to this place called Flower Child. What's SS Tonic? What is that? Tell me what that is. Tell me what that is. I don't know what that is. But I might go to Flower Child. And Flower Child, they do a lot of natural stuff. And I'm going to end up doing it myself, but I'm working on stuff in the kitchen right now. So I'm getting stuff straightened up in the kitchen. I'm going to be doing a lot more cooking at home. I have not been doing that lately because I'm rearranging and stuff is a mess right now. So I'm getting that. That's after this. So I'm going to be working on my desk, this living room. I'm shifting the couch down because the desk that I have is longer. And then I got to pull some stuff out in order to fit the longer desk in. Hey, Chicago BBW, what's up? Where you moving to? Where you moving, Chicago? Oh, so blood work, I should have them check it, but remember, I don't have a period anymore. So I'm not normally anemic. I haven't been anemic in years. I used to be anemic when I had the period and when I had the big tumor. But I haven't really been anemic, and I do vitamins. I do, I need to get a new supply. Where the hell is it? I have to show you. What I do with it? Oh, here it is. I need to get a refill, but this is the vitamins I use. And it's, I get it from Costco, and I need to get a refill because I think I'm down to 1 or 2. And, I haven't been using them as much because I had misplaced the container, and then I found it, but only had like 4 vitamins in there. And then, but yeah, tired. Some of my tired is the job too. So my job is it's not physical, but it's mentally taxing, especially the new position. The other position was kind of a lot simpler, but this one is, my family just got a new place. She's still going to be in Chicago. We just going to be living in separate, no more working from home. I got to go to the house 7 days a week. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I mean, if that works better and you feel better about it, whatever you do, you need to lock it in, because with who in office, it's going to be a hot mess for us for a minute. And at least I'm like this until the rapture come, or until the casket call, or until the 4 years. I don't know what God got planned, but woo-wee. Woo-wee. And the finances is going to be jacked, so y'all need to watch your money. That's why I'm trying to get stuff straightened out now. Jay, what's up? Honey, I didn't vote for any of it. So I'm be honest, I didn't vote for the right or the left. And people can hate me for that. I can be judged. I know I'm one of those. They would probably put me in the FAFO category. You can put me in whatever category you're at. But to me, I'm looking at both sides of this, and it's a mess. You got the wimpy Democrats who's doing nothing. And they also got other issues because you're pushing stuff you shouldn't push. We're going to talk about it. Jay, hang in here. We're going to get to it. I'm going to get to it. But I was, Flatbed was asking about the weight loss. So weight loss is doing good. I can feel it. I don't see it as much, but it's probably because I am so fat. But my niece Vicky and my friend Linda was the first one that said, dang, she sees it. And Vicky said she could see it. Vicky was saying she saw it in a video. We were just talking across at work. I was helping her with something at work after work on how to feel something out because I got her hired on at my company. And so I was helping her with how to feel something out. And she said she could see it all in my face. And then I went over to the house because there's a Latino family that I found through Facebook Marketplace that sells garden soil. And so I ended up finding them, and they're not that far from where Vivian lives. So I stopped by to visit them and to play with the puppies. To I'm praying because I'm also getting this place ready because I'm thinking about getting a puppy. I found I'm a Cocker Spaniel person. I found a breeder here in Arizona, not who crazy as hell, because there's one here locally. She got nerve charged $1,200 for a Cocker Spaniel. No, ma'am. So I found another one who's north of here, I believe, is where she said she's at. I'm on the Facebook group, and she does puppies all the time. She's got English and American Cocker Spaniels. She's charging between 5 and 6. So I've never, excuse me, bought a dog. I know there's another breeder in Texas that's somewhere between Arizona and Lubbock. And I thought about, well, I could also do a trip there and reach back out to her and see if she has any puppies. But this one that I have here, I see a lot of good feedback about her breeding practices. And there's pictures and there's reviews and people have gone and visited. And you also do want a breeder who's a good breeder. You don't want these crap breeders. And a lot of times, by the time you get the puppies, if they've already been bred to be puppy trained and kennel trained, it makes your life so much easier. So my understanding is that is some of what she does for 500 some dollars. I think it's high still, but it's a hell of a lot less than the $1,200 that other chick is charging. So I might be putting a little bit of change away and trying to eventually get me, because I would like a little companion. As I'm getting older, I'm already realizing I don't like being out very much. Joe and I hang out every so often, but we've had some differences. Not that it's been verbalized, but Joe's Latino. His family they're Mexican. They came from Mexico illegally, okay? A lot of them got their citizenships later. Not judging that. I'm always, hey, you do what you got to do better for yourself, right? And if you felt coming here was going to do better, you worked, so forth. I'm going to leave that alone there. There are members of his family, hardworking people. There's others that live on the system. I'm just going to say that. But my biggest issue was that he was one of the Latino people who considered himself, he would use the word white on the application. And now we're in a time, like I said, what's going on right now is lessons. It's huge lessons. And what has happened, and I told you guys, no, I'm not a proponent for the whole white, black terminology. I think it's one of the most ignorant things ever is, oh, you're the white race and you're the black race. It's nonsensical. There's only one race, it's human. We are ethnic groups. And for most of us here in America, we're an ethnic blend. From the master being in the slave chambers to everybody screwing everybody. And you find out, they were just talking about, was it Strong Thurmond? I think it was, whatever his name was, the real racist senator. I didn't know one of his daughter was black. And she served in the Senate. I was like, what? He, I guess, assaulted some black chick that was working for him, got her pregnant. She popped out this baby, which was his daughter. He had a relationship with his daughter. And later on, after he died, she announced that she was his child and also took on a senator, I think a senator or a House representative, whatever role. I'm sitting up like this. But then I guess I really shouldn't be shocked, right? Because was it Jefferson or one of the presidents who had the slave he was screwing up in the White House? It's so much drama. And that's what I see right now. I see drama in both sides of this madness. So when Jay says, hey, I didn't vote for any of this, I'm with you 100%, but I'm one of the ones who was in the middle. What that means is that I saw problems over here, I saw problems over here, and I'm just going to say, God, I'm going to let you handle it. Some people have problems with that because they're in their humanness and they see through flesh eyes. So they don't see on the spiritual level I see, and I'm not a Trump Christian whatsoever. I always tell people I'm a Christian. I'm going to the Bible. I'm going to the Bible, and I'm going to deal with it. And the Bible tells me in Scripture that God chooses the leadership, even some of the most wicked, ratchet leadership, and there's a purpose in it. We don't always see the grand scheme of things. We don't always see, if we look back over our lives, my childhood sucked. It was horrid. I grew up in a household with an abusive mother, a pervy stepfather who was an abuser, and my regular father, he sucked. So if you look at my life, but at the same time, because of all of that, it did create me, and I'm a little different. So I see through different lenses. And I see other people who sometimes grow in households who seem to be normal, and I see they jacked upness too. Everybody has jacked up stuff. Everybody. And what this is doing right now, and I told people, God gave America America. Narcissistic, self-centered, entitled, money-hungry, greedy people. And right here in the presidency, that's what he gave you. He gave you you. And racist, classist. I mean, I could go through the list. That permeates America. I don't care if you're Latino. I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you consider yourself white. I don't care what nationality you are. It permeates all of us. We're raised in it. We're taught in it. And it has impacted all of us. There are lessons for everybody in this madness. And it's an extreme lesson if you choose to get it. As I told Grumpy, you'll get it or you gonna get it. Some people choose to sit here and you're jumping on sides and you're really still not getting it. And the thing is that we need to come back to the middle. We need some fairness going on. I'm While I have strong Christian views about things based on where I'm at, I lived part of the lifestyle that I'm going to say, no, this isn't on God's page. However, I am a person and a proponent that believes you got a right to work, you got a right to live, you got a right to exist. What you don't have a right to is to force me to call you something you're not. And that is something that was being pushed in one aspect. Or being forced, if I'm looking at you in my eyes and I'm seeing one thing, you're telling me I got to say you're something different. That's messing with my mental. It's also messing with my spiritual. You can call yourself that if you want to, and don't be offended. It's like, I really don't like being called being black. I don't. I'm African American. What does that mean? I'm a culmination that makes me me, and I really don't necessarily, unless I probably go get a DNA test, know all of the culminations of what makes me me. Where all of my ancestry is from, because I'm an offspring of the slaves you brought over here. Now, I can go do the DNA test if y'all can step out people's business, but I got a problem with the fact that the government can access that information and ain't none of your business. And these companies give it to them for them to go find out whatever about somebody in your generational line, or they might be looking for a criminal. I got a problem with that. Find your criminal somewhere else. I don't know. I don't want you using my information. Not saying I don't have a problem with you getting a criminal. I got a problem with you doing it that way. But what's going on right now, this is lessons. And it's huge lessons. And like I said, some people will judge me and I've lost people on here. Child, let me help y'all. I don't make that much money on here. If anything, I might get $100 in a year or 2 years off of this. I don't make that much money off of this. So I'm being me. This is just my little outlet. I find it entertaining. I've met some people through here. We have chats like I'm doing right now. I can get some stuff off my chest. I can thank. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, your job, okay? And I just read Chicago, but yeah, and that's the thing. She said her job is on the chopping block. It's like my friend Linda. Linda is at my old company, and they are contracted to the federal government for Medicare and Marketplace. Now, if the regime decides to get rid of Marketplace, which is the Affordable Care Act, which the street name they called Obamacare because they were being racist. If they decide to get rid of that, it is unfortunate, but that would impact her job. She's also Medicare. And again, that could impact her job because they're contracted. Now, what I think is going to happen if he does what I think he's going to do, he's going to cut the government base and then he's going to get these contracted out to certain folks. And these are the buddies because what he wants to do is privatize it. And privatize it because he can put his buddies' friends in and he can get cuts from that. So, because again, you're dealing with somebody who he's hustle, it's about him. It's like I'm seeing the black folks in Target, and I'm seeing people that everybody likes, social media, popular folk. And they right up in the store and marketing their stuff, and they just as black as I am. And, hi, it's my new stuff. And it's about money. So, people gotta you getting ready to find out we are a product of what we come from. And America is greedy, entitled, narcissistic, self-centered, self-serving. Exactly what the Bible calls man. Wicked, classist, and racist. And unfortunately, it has been taught. That's one of the reasons I believe they want to affect the education system and stop certain things from being taught. And I agree on some levels, because some stuff I was like, but the histories of people of different ethnic groups, I have no problem with that. And it needs to be taught, because we make America history look a certain way. And actually, one of the reasons we're in this situation right now is because the education system has gone down the toilet. I'd be sitting here listening to people like this. Even in what I do every day, I had a conversation with somebody the other day. I was like, I was trying to piecemeal what this individual was saying. They were all over the dang place. And then I said, I need you to slow down. I need you to slow down. We got to backtrack, because you don't went over here. You done said this over here. You don't went over here. So we're going to backtrack. I'm going to look at this. We're going to go through this step by step. We're going to pick this apart. And I literally had to puzzle piece what he was saying, because he didn't know how to communicate. And this is the other thing. So the advent of the computer and the cell phone, we got a bunch of people who don't read, don't know how to speak to each other, don't know how to communicate. Like, they're impressed at my company. When I talk, they're like, oh my God, you're really good. Because I come from a generation, we didn't have this. And we didn't have a computer. We talked to each other. We didn't sit at dinner like this. We didn't walk across the street in a sidewalk and not look up to see if somebody's going to hit us. We weren't driving down the street with the freaking cell phone, and we can't pay attention and know when the light's green and just sit there because we so intense in a freaking conversation. We didn't do that. We read. We had to think. Now you don't think. You just believe whatever you see somebody told you. Intelligence ain't good. Probably why somebody told you I like the highly uneducated folk. There's a grip of them. And that's exactly who put you where you were. Because that was what God allowed. Otherwise, you wouldn't be there. But what we're seeing, and when you listen to people who are part of this, I'm just like this. Like, I heard one lady today. She played a clip from one of the gentlemen who's a supporter. I mean, he's a MAGA. And this man was pleading for people, I guess, to donate to him, to help him with his small business, because he's going to be really wiped out by the tariffs. But when she went to his prior video, when he told you who he was voting for and was very aware that the tariffs would happen, you were sitting there like, well, and he told you he knew they were going to go up. Bro, what you saying don't make sense. Which tells me that's not really why you supported him. It wasn't about the tariffs. It was about your classism and your racism. That's why you supported him. It had nothing to do with that. It was classism and racism. And people who are that entrenched, you will cut your nose off to spite your face. We won't even talk about the Democrats right now. I don't have no words. That's why when I vote independent, because they are horrid. They are horrid. Absolutely horrible. So both parties are suck. One is going into really cuckoo land, and the other one is just wimpy. So it's just like, you really don't have a choice right now. And what they really need to do is create a party that is a middle of the road party. That's really what needs to happen right now. We need to formulate a brand new party in America that's middle of the road. And those people need to start stepping in, because this madness right and left, child, bye. We need to get back to center. But I don't think it's going to go that way. I think it's going to go more to the left, more to the crazy right, or whatever they call them. It has to go more crazy anyway. It's right now, this whole thing is a foreshadowing of coming events. So it is what it is. But Chicago BBW, what I'm going to tell you is you need to try to find something that is not going to be impacted as much by what's going on. Like I always say, God moves for me, and I'm believing that the movement that happened for me to be in the type of insurance industry I am in is good, because people gonna need cars, therefore you need insurance. And my company doesn't only deal in car insurance; they also deal in life insurance. They don't deal in health insurance. They deal in life. They deal in car or auto, home, life, home, fire, auto. So they've got their hands in those things that people need. And they're a very, very big company. They're a company that survived in the Depression. So I would say I believe they're well managed. From what I can tell, they're more family driven in the sense of how they operate. They remind me of a Motorola in some of the way they handle things. I've had some health challenges, and part of what I went to submit, it got in late, it got denied, and the next thing I know, I had somebody from the HR calling me, "Hey, how you doing?" "I'm good. How you doing?" "I see that you've been trying to do this." "Yeah, okay. Well, we gonna work with you." "Well, I gotta deny." "Oh, we don't worry about that. We're gonna work with you. We're gonna help you with what your issues are." You don't get that in this world today. In most corporations, they be like, middle finger, we don't care, and be happy to get rid of you because they don't want to deal with any health issues. So I'm impressed. And like I said, different world. My niece shared some stuff with me, and she's part of that 40 and under group. And you give the kids to the kingdom, and you say, hey, don't do this, this, and this. And it's like, I don't know, this new generation, they like to press the envelope. They be doing too much. I'm like, okay. And that, to me, is the FAFOs, the ones that you flip around and you'll find out. They just like to press the envelope. Why? It's a weird thinking, but this is the weird thinking on where we're at today. Like I said, there's a lot of lessons and everything going on right now. And some people, especially now, because folks don't like Christians, because you got this group that claims they're Christian, that back this individual. And I'm going to say, there's also factions of Christians. The same way there's factions of black folks and Latino folks. And I was getting to Joe. Love Joe dearly. But we had a conversation a long time ago. And Joe told me that he checks white on applications. When? Why? Bro, you from Mexico. You told me your family came over here legally initially. What the hell? Now they're all legal now. The hell are you talking about? But I understood for him and for many, they see white as superb because that's what's been posted to us. As white has always been set up in their own in what they even present, and how it's been presented is that white is better than everybody else. And since I'm not as chocolate as you, even though I'm brown, even though my skin is tan, since I can possibly pass, see, we know about that in the black community too. Since I can possibly pass, I'm just gonna check the white box and I'm gonna be one of them. Uh-huh. You just saw what they did to you, right? They picked y'all up off a street and hauled y'all off to another country and put you in a slave camp. You just saw that, right? But you white. They don't do that, white folks. So they just told you what you really are. I would say I need to embrace my culture and realize, instead of thinking I'm white, the dog whistle will come for you. So we've had some, and he is considered himself Democrat and he's anti, but the mindset, I'm like, bruh. So I don't think he liked some of what I had to say. And I said, the dog whistle come for everybody. Same way I told Grumpy. Grumpy, narcissistic, it's all about you. He chose a certain death because he was so narcissistic and it was all about him. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just 100%. Folks cut their nose off to spite their face, and it makes no sense. I got friends of mine, like I said, I talk to them, and they are in an alternate lifestyle, and they may be going through changes. You got a beard, I can't call you what you changing to, because that's not what I see. I love you as a person. I don't agree. I don't think it's something the Lord wants. You're going to do you. You got the free will to do, and I believe you got the free will to work, live, and eat. But I'm not on the same page with what I'm saying. Not trying to be mean, just trying to keep it 100. So I used to call them by their name. Now I tell them, I apologize if I do this and it offends you, but until I can see something different, my mind don't work like that. And I'm penalized for that? No. You know, my buddy, you're Latino, you're a Mexican, you're not white. So you check in. And I saw people do it when I was working in healthcare under Marketplace. They would tell me to put whatever Latino, and then they would tell me to put white. What the hell's wrong with you? You, at least you get to go by an ethnic group. They still got the nerve to put us under this crazy white and black stuff instead of say African American. The hell's wrong with you? Why would you do that? Because you think being white is better. So I'm white. Are you for real? Are you for real? Mm-mm. No, ma'am, no, sir. And I always tell people in my family, I got it. One of my sister-in-laws is white. Well, I got more than one. We got a couple other white folks in there. We got white folks all in the family, especially on Grumpy's side. But we really ain't missed an ethnic group in Grumpy's family. We got everything. Latino, Mexican, Spanish, African, Korean, Japanese, Chinese. So we got a lot of military people, so they travel. We got everything over on that side. We got a mix, a good random mix. And hey, and I don't have problems with my Latino folks because I got my couple nieces who are black and Hispanic mix. And even in our family, we got tons of them. I got one like cousin-in-law. She don't speak no English. Her name is Anna. And Annabelle, I haven't seen Anna forever. She funny though. Cause Anna could cook. I don't know what the hell Anna be saying other than hola. I said, hola. That's it. What you cook? What you cook? Tell my fat butt about the food. She a fluffy girl too. Oh, I don't know what the hell she said. Just point the food out to me, homie, and hook me up. And cool people. I don't have a problem. But she knows she's Latino. She ain't out there checking off the white box. And that's part of it because even some of them, they voted against themselves. But we had the same thing happen in our community. And like I said, just come to the middle. You might say, I don't like them. I don't like you. I'm just going to sit in the middle. And both the right and left, y'all can judge me all the hell you want to. This is madness. And we seeing what's going on with your Democratic. Well, we wouldn't. No. We'd be in another type of situation. Yeah, maybe it wouldn't be this bad. It'd still be a bad situation. It would still be the bad situation. But all of this is judgment, in my opinion. Doesn't matter which direction you go. It's all judgment. Anyway, I was telling y'all when I came in, I went a little bit on a tangent. I literally had just walked in, so I came in here about 2 minutes late. Today I got up, I had to go work. I've been getting stuff done on the car. So I think I told y'all the car had like a list of stuff when I first went to the dealership. They gave me a stuff that needed to be done. The serpentine belt needed to be replaced. It was wearing. I agree, I could see that. They gave you a bunch of different fluids that need to be flushed. Okay, I'll have to research that. I needed a tune-up. I got that done. Oil change, obviously, that's standard. But then I went in, and these dudes, I ain't talk to y'all. I went in, and all of a sudden they discovered, oh, your hoses off the radiator hoses. So there's 3 of them. I didn't know. I thought there were 2, but there's 3. Your radiator hoses are swelling. They need to be replaced. $450 some. No, y'all don't even. Nope, don't touch it. Go ahead and just do that. Go ahead. I think it was a serpentine belt I got done? Serpentine belt. I said, just do the serpentine belt. Now, I don't know if the hoses were swelling or not. They're older. This car has 80-some thousand miles on it, right? I got it at 70-some thousand miles. So normally, I know that in my I had what car was that I had? One of my Volkswagens. It got to, you see, I'm pulling out a hair again. I always get a hair right here, y'all. I get a whisker right here. One of my Volkswagens I had, I think it was close to 50 to 100,000. And the mechanic I had at the time said, change out all your hoses and belts. And that was a VW bug. That was nothing. I did that. It only cost a couple $100. But these folks talking about almost $500 to change 3 hoses. I just gave you a couple hundred to do the belt. And the only reason I did the belt with the dealership, because we're really getting into the engine and I want it done right and I want it warranted by your labor. So I had them do the belt, and I got a coupon off because it would have been with taxes around $250. With the coupon off, I think I paid $206. And honestly, when I called around, it was kind of the standard cost to do the belt. Now, I went to Hood Mechanic for the hoses. We're gonna get to that in a minute. And as soon as they told me about the hoses, I was like, I'm sitting up there in the dealership when I got the little notice. They give you a notice that they almost done, and this was their assessment. And you need to flush the brakes. I knew they talked about that. I think the coolant, they want me to flush that and do some kind of fuel treatment cleanse, whatever. I'll do that later. Child, I looked up them hoses, and originally I thought it was 2 hoses. It was actually 3 later when I realized it. The hoses were 2 of them around just around $37 each. So let's say $40. So that's $80. There was a third hose. That hose ended up costing me $25. And I think that's what they call the overflow hose. So there's 3 hoses deal from my car with the radiator. So, and then I'm going to need 2 gallon jugs of coolant, right? And I went ahead and did the coolant through AutoZone, and I did the coolant that was for Kia, okay? And then I think to flush it, I think you could get some flush cleaner. I didn't do all that. It did give me, when I researched it, you could just use distilled water. I had 4, but I brought 1 in the house. I gave the dude who had the mechanic dude I had do it 3 gallons of distilled water to flush the system. I brought in 2 gallons of the coolant. I got the 3 hoses. So he charged me, ready? Drum roll. $55 to change 3 hoses and flush it and put in a new coolant. $55. And it took him, I don't even think I was sitting there half an hour. Okay, I sat on the dirty bench with the dirty puppies. I played with the little hound dog puppies while he did that in his little shop. And it was $55 for him. All together, so 80, 105, let's say $130 was the hoses and the fluid and the water. Flatbed, I'm gonna tell you what I use. I'm gonna get to that because I do use something for the fuel. And for the hoses, well, 150, 130. Yeah, I'm gonna say, but let's say around $154, if that, right? I really wasn't that. And then add 55. So ultimately, it cost me under $200. And these dudes want to charge me $450 to change 3 hoses and flush the system. Next, I went to Ghetto Mechanic. I'm like, let me go to the Hood Mechanic because I could have changed probably the top 2 hoses. Only reason I didn't do I could have changed top 2. I knew that. But to get down underneath, I'm not in that shape. In order to lift that car up, try to be crawling underneath to do it. And he has a lift. So he didn't even have to crawl underneath it. He put the car on the lift and he did the drain. He did all that. He put them hoses in. And like I said, it didn't take long. Well, the dealership, what they do is they do send me, where's it at? I thought I saw one. Here's one. They send me something like this. And on the back, they got little deals. So like they'll do oil change, tire rotation, and then they take money off of depending on how much you spend. So I do this from time to time because what I normally will do is I've called the name brand mechanics, the ones that actually are not the Hood guy. And the Hood guy actually does have a shop. He's a body shop, but he also does mechanic work. And he does a lot of mechanic work for some of the bus drivers because I've seen some of them drop their vehicle over at him. And then Linda's the one who told me. So I call him the hood mechanic because he in the hood. He will be doing my brakes. So I know my brakes like that. Oh, you need a brake flush. When I got the car, where I bought the car from, Auto Nation, one of the reasons they kept it for a day was they said that part of the service they needed to do was the brakes. Now, I've had the car, I think a little over 2 years now, right? So I'm probably coming up on getting the brakes done. I'm going to go ahead and if you just do the brake pads, I said, how much you charge me to get the brakes done? Because when he does the brake pads, I'm also going to have him bleed the brakes. I mean, and drain that fluid out. I'm going to have him flush the fluid out, bleed it, whatever they call it, and get all the brake fluid out. And we'll put fresh brake fluid in there. Sir. And we're going to put the new pads on. I don't think there's any issues with rotors. I'm going to go by and ask him, do you think the rotors need to be changed? If you do tell me, I'm going to run up there and go get some rotors. Because he's by two different parts place. He's at right there. Yeah, because I did last year. Well, June, I think, will be the... So I did last year, I did the first year tags. So yeah, this June will be second year. So I may go ahead and do brake pads again on there. I mean, I don't drive enough, but I may end up doing it. I have to look and see. I can tell the brakes are a little more, I mean, it's still stop. I'm not hearing any grinding, but I don't want to get to where I hear grinding. But when you tell me it needs a flush, we're going to do all of the above. I'm going to go ahead and get the brake pad changed, and I'm going to do the flush at the same time. The same way when I asked him, I said, how much you going to charge me to change? He says, oh, $55. I'm like, okay. I brought 3 gallons of distilled water. I bought 2 gallons of the coolant, and I brought all 3 hoses. And I had to drive around for them hoses. I had to go to 2 different parts places. O'Reilly's. Y'all, O'Reilly's, they customer service is bomb. I can just I can use Afterpay for AutoZone, but if O'Reilly's did that, I do all my business at O'Reilly's. Their customer service is bomb. But I had to do a part at O'Reilly's, and they were like, oh, we can get, the parts are in California. We'll have them here for you tomorrow afternoon. Sure enough, they got them parts like either overnight, they were here. I was like, y'all bomb. Bomb. They customer service is just, I had never been in O'Reilly's. I was like, y'all are wonderful. So when I went to AutoZone, we have 2 AutoZones, and I guess 2 of them are 24-hour. I didn't know we had 24-hour AutoZones. We got 2 of them here in the Valley that are 24 hours. So I went to one. He said, oh, they got the hoses. They didn't have the hose. And they also had mislabeled the hose. So the hose they initially sold me was supposed to be the upper hose. It was not. It was the lower hose. And in their system, when they sold it to me, so when I went to O'Reilly's, I called O'Reilly's and I said, hey, I'm looking for the lower hose. So I go and he's like, oh, you know what, ma'am, you don't even have to put your card down. I'm going to go ahead and order it. And then if you want to come in and put it on hold, you can pay for it. So I went in after hours, paid for the hose because they had ordered it, told them I'd be back the next day to get it, which I did. When I went to go back in and get the hose, it was the same hose I got from AutoZone. And we're like, wait a minute, this is the same hose. Because I'm looking at him like, bro, that's the same hose I already have. So then he came out to the car. We went out there. He says, ma'am, you're going to need 2 more hoses. You need the overflow hose and you need the upper hose. I was like, okay, we need to get that. So he said, I'm going to order. I don't have those. I'll order both of those. And he said, you want to pay for them now if you decide you want them? Because I wasn't expecting it. Girl, let's not even go there. Let's not even go there. I've learned, I researched my stuff. And again, I thank God for the trucking part because there's stuff you had to do on a truck, right? Just basic maintenance stuff. So you learn a lot because you had to walk around that engine. You had to pre-trip that engine as part of your trucking school training. So I already knew. And I kept seeing this one hose. I'm like, wait a minute. Are there 3 hoses? And in the picture, it said 3, but in the description, it talked about 2. So there's the 2, one that goes from to the cap, and then one from the radiator into the engine, and then the one underneath. And one of them is known as overflow hose. So really, I didn't know when I was, because again, that's not something, this is a much newer car than what I'm used to in working on. Because like I said, I worked on a VW Bug. Those are easy, like a lawnmower engine. But so when I realized O'Reilly, so then I went back because I had gotten a gift card and I was like, I still had quite a bit of money on it. When I went back and AutoZone was like, well, we have that hose in stock. My dude, I was in here yesterday. So I got think it was the overflow hose from them. And then O'Reilly's got in the other hose I needed. Yep, that's what I did. And so I went and watched. That's how I found out he was going to need distilled water. Estimate about how much water. They said 2 to 4 gallons. I bought 4 gallons, but ended up keeping 1 gallon for my CPAP machine and giving him three. I said, "Is that good enough? If it's not, I'll go get another one." He said, "Nope, that's good." This car is not driven that much to where, I mean, it's a 2015 car with 87,000 miles on it. That's not bad. So that tells you, and that, over a 10-year car, that's not a lot on there um, being driven. And the car runs pretty decently. So what I was telling y'all today, I got up and I was smelling when I got into the car after, because it's starting to use the AC because it's getting warm. I was smelling a vinegar odor. And I was like, what is this vinegar smell? And so when I researched at YouTube University, they said it could be mildew mold. And so they talked about changing the in-cabin filter, which I was used to. I did it on my Scion. I did it on other cars. I changed the fuel filter thing like that back in the day on the Bug, but that's easy. And then I never did the engine air filter. I'd never done the engine air filter, but I did that today too. So it talked about the different filters. And I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and change I had the in-cabin air filter in the car. It was hard only because one of the clips to the cover is broken. And I'm just going to order a new cover this payday coming up, cut off of the internet. I'll just order one. I think I'm going to go ahead and order the Kia part. There's some non-OEM ones, but the Kia one is under 20 bucks. I might order that one. Because I saw a Kia one on there, and I might just stick with the manufacturer version. But the Kia one, okay. Hey, if it run and you take care of it, that's all that matter. And Mazda makes a decent car if you take care of it. Mazda initially was a American Ford sold car, even though it comes from overseas. But yeah. See, Grumpy didn't take care of his car. He didn't take care of any of his cars. Yeah, I love Little Man Hulk. I love. So I'm hoping that with the bankruptcy that we're going to have to do here in the near future, that we can reduce his cost, which I think part of it is going to get reduced in the bankruptcy. I'll still have to pay it, I think, but it may get reduced in the bankruptcy. I'll have to see how they're going to do it because we're doing a complete wipe, or it might get totally wiped. I don't know. Hoping we will have all that ready to go in May. Matter of fact, when I get done with this, I'm going to email the attorney, let them know we're getting, because the last part I'm doing right now is all the tax stuff, making sure all that's filed, everything, and then I got to get everything from them to get ready for the court. Any of that debt, any of the old house debt, just laundry list and everything. Anywho, but yeah, I went out there and the first time I popped in, it was easy. YouTube University. I'm like, okay, let me go get, so this morning I got up, went over to AutoZone. I had a little bit left on a gift card, said, let me get the air filter for the engine. Well, some of it will, some of it won't. I'm not worried about it. Whatever's been filed thus far, that will be the other part. I may have to make arrangements on any Uncle Sam debt, but other than that, yeah, I already know that. But I have other debt besides that, so I just want to put everything and start it all over. And if I could wipe most of it, what is newer Uncle Sam stuff, you could probably do a payment arrangement, and or I could possibly do, which the lawyer I have, he says you may even be able to do a settlement agreement. So we'll see how we're gonna have to work it. We'll see. But you can best believe homeboy who's done all his bankruptcy, he got bankrupt. He gonna have bankruptcy. It's gonna still be available because he needs it available for his folk. Yeah, if it benefit them, it'll still be there. It might be better than it was before. Because then they can bankrupt all their stuff and make more millions and billions and trillions. Baby, I don't even know where to go with that madness. But yeah, so we just, God bless them. But yeah, so I'm just gonna clean up some stuff and just start. And again, also at my age, I may want to buy a small home. I'm not sure. I'm leaning towards more of a manufactured home, so I may just want to buy dirt, buy me an inexpensive manufactured home, put it there, and just call it a day. I don't know if it'll be here in Arizona. I have concerns about my state. I have concerns because of our water crisis. Um, However, I've been across the country. I can say there's certain places I absolutely love. I do like aspects of Tennessee, but I don't know if I can deal with the racial issues where I got racial issues here, and that's a different type of racism. I know, like Trucker Nikki is in Memphis, Tennessee. I was like, oh, I already know what you're dealing with. She like, it's just different. I can't explain. You ain't got to explain, my dude. I already know. The Carolinas are pretty. I don't know. I don't know that I've been there long enough to know what that vibe is like. Very pretty though. Very green. I love the greenery. That much I do. I love the greenery when I went through there. Um I love PA. If I went East Coast, I love PA. Now I got a friend of mine right now. She just bought a house in Illinois. Now, Illinois was not somewhere I would ever, and I'm not talking Chicago. She's in the country. She got a house for like 85K. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she got a house for like 85K. Um, and I'm like, that's a really good deal. I went to Texas. I'm not a Texas fan. They're just different. I'm just gonna leave that there. And I got a lot of family in Texas. Monty's people are mainly grumpies. We're Texas and Oklahoma folk. I'm not a fan. And then my mother's father was Oklahoma. Her mother was Louisiana. Louisiana's a whole another thought process. I ain't even gonna go there. They odd too. Sorry, y'all. There's aspects of going through Texas. It's a thought process with the people. I just cannot. I can't. And it's just like when I was listening to this man that this lady was putting on about his business and the tariffs. The whole time I'm like, bro, none of what you just said makes sense. You said you voted because you knew he was going to do the tariffs and you thought that was going to help the country. You don't give a damn about this country. God forgive me. You cared about your bottom line. Well, I thought it was going to bring jobs back to America. Your parts come out of China. This is what he did. This is what he said. Your deals are in China, but you trying to help the country? Then why aren't you doing American parts? You already could be there if that's really your goal. That wasn't your goal. That's just your bullcrap reason for your justification. That wasn't your goal. Your goal was classism and racism. Go sit down in the corner with the bullcrap. It's amazing to me. And they're not the only ones. Everybody justifies stuff. It's like, so I love my niece, and she's working for my company. And so I'm a person that when you're on the phone, they give us headsets because we're customer driven, customer based. We talk to them about claims. She talks to the people on speaker because she don't want to wear the headset. Because that's her generation anyway. They'll walk around telling all their business on an open cell phone. You hearing both parts of the conversation in the grocery store. It's the most ghetto thing ever. And when she told me, I said, what? What? And I get it sometimes talking to other business people where you know they're working from home like me. And they'll put you on most unprofessional thing ever. Unprofessional. Absolutely not. I was like, "Ooh, you lucky you got the manager you got. Because if I heard you on your phone and I listened to the call and could tell you on speaker, we'd be having to come to Jesus meeting." No, ma'am, no, sir. This needs to be a professional business. We gave you a headset for a reason. I need you to wear it. And they'll justify things like we have a young lady and she's Swedish. And when I was talking about I can't stand people on speakerphones, she's like, "Oh, I don't answer my phone. I don't put my phone up normally to my ear either." Let me show y'all. I got headsets. I got more than one. I got maybe a couple over here. Hold on. Let me have some sitting next to me. I'm trying to see. Yep, here's another one. I got multiples. Here's another one. This is a cheapy one. Headsets, just different Bluetooths. Okay, well I can talk on them and talk to you. I got there's one over here where it goes over your ears. Where you talk through that too, Bluetooth. You can get the ones that wire to the end, Bluetooth. I don't put the phone, but you don't need to hear my whole conversation. And they telling you, I can't stand it. It's the most ghetto thing ever. And when you do that in a business, and her justification, oh well, the headset, well you don't have problems. No, what you're trying to do is justify I want to do what I want to do. So you're trying to get me on your page. You're not. That's what's going on with this madness we're in right now. Entitlement. I want to do it my way, so I'm going to do it my way. And that's what you got on top. God gave America. Racist, classy, self-entitled, narcissistic, greedy. Gave America. Whoop, there it is, all packaged up into that lovely individual who's on top and the crazy folks that are wrapped up to him. Point blank, period. And I got, like I said, I got black folks who I'm close to who I know who voted for this individual. Now, judge me all you want for those who like, you didn't vote and that's why they got, okay, well, you judge me all you want. I'm sorry, I didn't like what y'all had going on over there either. I didn't like some certain agenda information. And right now, what y'all seeing on what y'all got going on over there is telling you everything. Point blank, period. I ain't saying it's got to be perfect, but y'all both got a whole bunch of drama going on I can't get into. So I'm going to sit my behind in the middle, and I'm going to let God work this out. And everybody getting lessons in this, because y'all need to come differently, and y'all ain't coming with nothing different. Right now, y'all wimpy and limpy, and y'all ain't doing anything. Exactly what we see is exactly what I saw. And over here, I already know y'all off the Richter scale in La La Land and crazy as hell. And y'all got some weird folks calling themselves Christian back in that madness. And I'm going to tell you right now, what you seeing over there, that is not regular Christian folk. Might be some of the old slavery type Christian folk that call themselves that. But just because it say it's Christian don't mean it is. The same way somebody can look like me and just say that they African American or black don't mean they are. As they said, there's house ninjas and field ninjas. You need to know which ninja you are. And you can't trust house ninjas, because house ninjas have associated themselves with massa. And massa don't give two doggons about them. He might do a little bit for the offspring he had if he screwed you and had one. I'm just saying. Flatbed, true, but you see so many in the regular world, and I want another one. My blue parrot is dead. I did the trucker get. It's in the room somewhere. It's done. I got the gorilla tape. He done broke off the side. I gorilla tape front of the end. That baby was talking. I got it. I love my blue parrot. Blue parrot was. I might get another blue parrot. I'm breaking up right now. Oh, hold on. I hope I didn't open this. I don't know why I'm breaking up. Hold on. That bed. Hold on. Y'all hold on. Now. Flatbed, let me know if y'all can hear me now. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. See if y'all can hear me. Okay. When I think I got the Bluetooth and opened it, it connected. And I think it jacked everything up. So I just had to turn the Bluetooth off, homie. I had to turn the Bluetooth off. Yeah, because like I said, it worked. I be sitting up here I'm like, I don't understand. And actually, we can have a wireless headset. I got one somewhere in the room. I gotta find. And but yeah, so she be on. I'm like, and then you gonna try and they generation try to justify everything. So like yesterday, she said she had to come to Jesus meeting with her boss about something with the brakes, and she tells him, "I know it's about the." So you already knew that what you was doing wasn't right, homie. Now her mother has health issues. If you need to go and get, I told you what to do because your mom has health issues. She's got some health issues. You need to go to the doctor. I gave her my doctor. I said, he's fair. He's going to work with you and he's going to work with the company. If you need to get that on record, get it on record and they'll work with you. But again, they put the 40 and under crew, they push them in. That entitlement is real. So we want, but that's also the group that voted for this one. These folks that I know love them. But the thought process, 2 and 2 don't equal 4. It equals 5. It's just like, and cut nose off to spite face. So you screw yourself. And some people look, well, you didn't get you. So I already knew who was gonna get in, but I also knew that mess over there too. And I didn't agree with a lot of that mess over there. I really didn't agree with that one. And to me, both choices were not the best. I think sister girl was intelligent. I think she's smart as a whip. But the focus was not what I wanted. It wasn't something that I could sign off and say, yeah, I'm gonna check the box. I'm gonna vote for Jesus, and I'll let him deal with this. So he gave you, all of y'all, and that's why you got these extremes. So I'm gonna come to the middle of this, and we just gonna roll with it and see what God does. And some people may judge that too. Judge it all you want, because I'm all for the fact you got the right. You got the right, and I think that's individual supposed to be there because I think there's lessons in it for everybody. I mean, it's got me looking in the mirror. What are my biases? What are my racial? And I do have racial biases. I know it. I got it within my own culture, with my own folk. I got it with other folk. I know I got biases. We all grew up in it. It's just like I told you, there's history we don't know. I didn't know Strong Thurman had a black. I think it's Strong. Was it Strong? I think it's him. The real racist white senator from back in the day. The one that old boy just beat his filibuster. I think it's Strong. I can't remember. But yeah, we all got biases because we're raised up in that system. We are raised up in a system. It is what it is. It is what it is. And then we all justify. It's just like I can't judge her because we all justify to some degree. Some people worse than others. Because I'm gonna make it right, and I'm gonna make it so that I can do what I'm gonna do. And that's one of the things that their group, the 40 years under, I can't stand. I'm gonna do what now. I'm at an age now where I already know I'm set in my ways. But in their thing, even with the work environment, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and they will push the envelope even to their job being lost. I'm like, I warned you about this, that, and the other thing with these people. I've given you the keys on what you should do. I had to talk to them. Okay, well, we ain't got nothing to talk about. You made a choice. Well, and before it wasn't because I went, okay, well, you made a choice. You knew what you do wasn't doing right, and they just didn't say nothing. Now that they're saying something to you, like, you made a choice. All right, y'all. We're speaking on here an hour, but I'm going to show y'all the other glasses. Put down in the comments what y'all think. These are one set. I got to buy one, get one for discounting, $50, whatever. So with the insurance, it was almost like I paid $125 each. Progressive, both. These are, I think, Ray-Ban, and I really like these. These are probably my favorite. And then I got these. There was another pair I liked a lot better, but these are the other ones I got. And I'm going to get on, because I want more of the funky. I like some of the funky, geeky ones, but I can only find those online. So I'm going to probably be ordering those. Those were Ray-Ban, and who is this? Emporio Armani. And I like the different one, but she said they were too big for my face. Something about the sides. So She found these that were close to look at the other ones that I like, and I can't remember what brand that was, but I did like them better. But these were nice looking too. So those are the two new glasses. Although I wear the Ray more, I really like the Ray-Bans. And the weird part, but okay, I'll look them up. This one called Fioto. There's another company, and you can order those online. Okay, I'll look them. The funky geeky glasses, which I like. Um, Colors and circles and, kind of major geek like glasses. So I'm probably going to order a couple through there. My prescription really hasn't changed much. I think she said my stigmatism had changed slightly. It's going good. Around the house, I can walk without the cane a little. Sometimes when I get out of bed, my, I don't know, legs funky. The and some paperwork. It's breaking up again. I don't know what I did. All right, it might be the internet. I don't know, but that's maybe telling me we gotta go. Anyway, flatbed. Anybody who watch, give us a like, thumbs up, share it out. 2 and 2. I'm gonna get off of here. Peace. I'll see y'all in a week or so, and I'll try to do it ahead of time and let y'all know. Peace.